But let's look at this first one. And as we go through these things, I want you to see that we're taking a look from a deeper level of consciousness. I talk about there's two brains, if you will, conscious and subconscious. Have you heard of those? Okay, so you're listening to me with the conscious mind, and that's what happens with your people, your workers. They're going to listen when you say, though, we need to improve, right? The safety model, it's good, but we need better. What they're hearing through their nervous system is, hey, I'm not good enough, right? We want all this change. We need to improve. What's the problem with me? This is how that's being interpreted. And the first threat that we're going to be looking at, there's three of them, something different, something new, and something old. What's the job of your nervous system? It's to keep you safe. Very good. And so it has to come to your rescue because it's hearing something's changing, something's going to be different. And so the part of your brain that's doing this is the prefrontal cortex up here. And it's the part that right now is thinking, who is this guy? What is he talking about? He got a fancy blue suit on, blah, blah. What time's the golf course? Right? The chatter. How much chatter goes on in that frontal lobe? A lot, yeah? Right? Research says 60,000 thoughts a day from this frontal lobe. How many of those thoughts do you think are the exact same thoughts you had yesterday? Research says 90% of them. And how many of those do you think are negative and non-supportive to your goals, dreams, and aspirations of all the change that you're looking to create? 80%, right? So to the untrained, undisciplined, like free mind, it thinks the same stuff all the time, and it thinks negative stuff. How many of you have heard of this left brain, right brain thing? Some of you, great, excellent. So you've probably heard back in the past, so left brain is analytical, logical, right? Right brain more creative, artistic. New neuroscience research has shown that not only is your left brain, the logical, rational part, it's also very optimistic. So this part of you, the left frontal part, is the part that thinks. It's the part that got you here. Because it thinks about what could we do better? How do we grow the company? What's the next thing? What's the new strategy, technique? How can we do this? Right? That's where it's coming from. Oh, but the right hemisphere, they found, is very pessimistic. Its job is to think about what can go wrong, will go wrong, may go wrong. That's its job. Guess which one wins? You know what that little conflict that's going on in your mind. In fact, the research has shown that for most people, this is like a constant dynamic, right? Your left brain thinks about the goal, the dream, the vision. What can I do? Where am I going to go? How can I make all this change? And the right brain says, but remember when it didn't work out so well? Or what if it does? Okay? And it's its job because it's trying to keep you what? So now you have to look at, okay, how good a job is it doing? It's wired to do that. Think of the frontal lobe, this dynamic between these two is like the right brain is the guards at Buckingham Palace, right? They're not looking for the girl playing in the street, they're looking for the sniper in the tree. That's what your right brain does. It's constantly on the lookout for what could go wrong, will go wrong, or may go wrong. In fact, there's 5 times more neural networks that are seeking danger, looking out for that stuff, than seeking reward. So again, you're not your brain, but your brain's wired to do this. So when people are dealing with these negative thoughts all the time, the first thing we have to do is separate you from your brain. Begin to observe that, right? Because if you don't, the research has actually shown that the number one cause of depression and anxiety and a lot of these disorders, chronic depression, suicidal tendencies, is because these two hemispheres won't shut up. This one's wanting, this one's saying no.